Man, it is quite nostalgic. In case any of you don't know, one of my first playthroughs, not my exact first, but one of my earliest playthroughs, Let's Plays on my channel, was a mod of this game called The Legend of Zelda Parallel Worlds. It had a lot of flaws, let's just say. The playthrough is still on YouTube. The only thing I don't like about it now is really that my microphone was not nearly as decent as it is now. It's a problem that a lot of my old playthroughs had, to be honest. Anyway, yeah, this is the old story of this game. Nintendo has tried to fit it into the current lore. Doesn't quite work. They had to change some facts laid out right here. But the gist of it is that Ganon got the golden power, which is Triforce. Back in this era, Nintendo wouldn't allow the game to just say gods in heaven and that kind of stuff, so quite work. Because I believe the Japanese name of this game is The Legend of Zelda Triforce of Gods? Something like that? Let me just look it up real quick while I am not touching anything here. Oh yeah, the king died. He's just a skeleton staying on the throne. I always found this cutscene weird, to be honest. Also, the king was good because it says so in the text right there. Now, Zelda is a brunette in this game. Also, the descendants of the 7 wise men have powers. It's very much informed though, and we never see them display those quote-unquote powers. He's not really killing them, he's just sending them to another world. I'm serious, that's actually what he's doing, except you never see these people alive again, except for Zelda, so a little strange. Yeah, it's Triforce of Gods in Japan. Or Triforce of the Gods. Couldn't say that in English, so they changed it to the pretty intelligently translated A Link to the Past, which is a lot more memorable, to be honest. Because Triforce of the Gods is accurate to the lore, but what does the Triforce mean in the end? Not much. Also, look at this fancy choose or register your name screen. Weird. Why are we shooting like in a first-person shooter? Japan doesn't make first-person shooters. Also, for the first time, Link has family. He has an uncle, right here. He's done something to the other missing girls. Can't say kill. Okay, Paula. Hawk! We should use not all capitals, but whatever. I'm going out for a while. I'll be back by morning. Don't leave the house. How does the uncle know about all this? I'm pretty sure Zelda was communicating us only. But for what we're almost sure that is the fact, the reality is that the uncle almost certainly heard the message too, because where he's heading will put his life in great peril. Also, yeah, we got the lantern. Or rather, the lamp. We don't see this item too often in the games. We know it appears back in Twilight Princess, but beyond that, I'm not sure which games it appears in. Did it appear in Four Sword Adventures? Because Four Sword Adventures used a lot of recreated assets from this game. Not the exact same assets, but, you know, they were clearly making that game on a budget. You are short on magic power. You can't use this item now. Watch your magic meter. Yeah, for some reason the lamp, it uses magic. What are you doing up this late, kid? You can stay up when you're grown up. Now go home. I am indeed staying up way late at night right now. It's 10:30, and I should really be going to bed, but I wanted to finally start this game, you know? Yeah, I thought she stopped me for no reason, but I actually never, ever heard that message before. Because I don't usually take my time getting to the castle, but I figured this is a good opportunity, considering we're supposed to showcase the game. We can't go very far, though. Incidentally, I'm so glad we can actually lift up the grass. For some reason, Ocarina of Time decided we shouldn't do that. But yeah, the message is useless for people who don't know what to do. It's not very difficult to end up next to the castle. Also, this is the reason they let you lift up grass. What an accomplishment. Oh no, what happened to the uncle? Hawke, I didn't want you involved in this. I told you not to leave the house. Take my sword and shield and listen. You can focus power in the blade, hold the B button. Then release it using the secret technique handed out by our people. What do you mean, our people? You're my uncle, not my father. Hawke, you can do it. Save the princess. Zelda is your... sister? No, Zelda is your destiny is what Nintendo actually meant. What? That is not what uncles say when they're dying. About, like, when you're dying, family talks about family. They don't talk about destiny or fate or crap like that. Seriously, what a bad translation. To be honest, not sure if it's actually any better in the Japanese version, but seriously, how could they think to write it that way? Millions of kids would go on to think that Zelda is your sister in this game. And not even much would change, honestly. Probably give some depth to the game. This is a lot better or more evolved story-wise compared to the previous two games, but it's still not there. You know what I mean? Incidentally, our sword strike is way better. Look at this swing. Everything in front of us gets hit, even to the side. Oh, incidentally, since we have a sword now, the soldiers will actually start attacking us. And they're kind of dumb. They have to actually see you to know that you're attacking them sometimes. Weird. Oh, that's a B. I keep forgetting they're in this game. I know they reappear in Majora's Mask at the very least. Maybe Ocarina of Time too. Four Swords Adventure as well? I'm not sure. They're quite rare. They're not very valuable to attack, to be honest. Don't even think they drop rupees. They're just to harass you if you cut too much grass, I suppose. That's annoying. Also, this is already our first dungeon. The Link to the Past puts you into the action very quickly. It's also, I am probably saying this a bit too early on, but this is a very, very good game that has aged surprisingly well. Ow. Can't go there. It's really surprising how well I Link to the Past aged, because there are some aspects to the game that don't really gel with modern conventions, but the items they chose to hand you out as you complete the dungeons are amazing. They're all fun. There's even a whole bunch of optional items that you can only get by doing side quests that are also like super fun, although not very useful. Well, except for the magic cloak, maybe, kinda. And the magic meter is actually quite well balanced. You never feel like you have too much magic, something that you will feel in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. And yada yada yada. Also, life, even though it's been made much more generous, it's still relatively fair and not too generous. You know? You never feel like you have too many hearts, even though you start with 3 and you eventually get to possibly have 20. I guess I should stop exploring. How do we look at the map again? Oh yeah, X. There was also a world map I could have looked at. Too late now. We can only see 2 screens of the area at once, which is more than enough, if you ask me. I mean, you get... what I mean by that is that... the key and the map. So yeah, the areas that are lit are the areas I've gone through. The areas that are not are the ones that we haven't gone through. And won't. I don't believe we'll ever go to the second floor. Yet. Yeah, there's layers to this game. Also, you can make the enemies fall. That's actually quite fun, even to this day. Although you don't get any reward out of it. If you throw a jar at an enemy, that will actually hit them, assuming it reaches. Swords playing with each other. Enemies can fall by themselves if they're dumb. Super cool game, even to this day. I suppose I should talk about the elephant in the room. Link has pink hair. A fact that Nintendo will not acknowledge when they really should, because this makes this Link quite unique. Apparently they had trouble with the palette while making this game. They couldn't get Link to display an additional color, even though he has yellow in his tunic, and they could have used that color for his hair. Something that Parallel Worlds mod, I believe, used. Maybe. To be honest, when it comes to mods, they usually just expand the limitations the engine, or better, I should say, the Super Nintendo had. Make it do things that it really should not have been able to do. Then complain at Nintendo that, hey, look at what we're doing, Nintendo. Why can't you do that with your re-releases, huh? Nintendo takes pride in the age of their products. When they resell them, they're really saying, you buy it as it was. Take it or leave it. Because why else would they resell it anyway? Oh, I thought it was the compass. It's the boomerang. It's okay. It's not the most exciting version of the boomerang, but still pretty good. You can throw it diagonally now. Actually, you could in the first game too, but there is some cool aspects. Like, you can't make it go past the staircase because you're not on the second floor, except now you can because you are on the second floor of this area. There are only 2 floors per area, but you know, still more than enough. Yeah, there's not many optional areas to go through here. Kept it simple for the first dungeon. As they should have. There are a lot of dungeons in this game. I think it has the most dungeons of any game. Huh. Well, matters little. Another quirk about this game that I remember is that there was this speedrunner called TSA who had the world record for this game. Also, this is a unique enemy. He had the world record of this game, and back when the Insider forums were a thing, I actually talked in the same forums that he did, because he was talking in those forums. However, like a decade later, TSA would be exposed as someone who spliced his runs. So him arrogantly claiming that he was a masterful player, and he probably was, of the Zelda series, kind of comes across as a little, well, as I said, arrogant, because he was cheating all along. Thank you, Hawke. I had a feeling you were getting close. Hawke, listen carefully. The wizard is magically controlling all the soldiers in the castle. I fear the worst for my father. The wizard is an inhuman fiend with strong magical powers. You understand? Alright, let's get out of here before the wizard notices. I know a secret path. First, we have to go to the first floor. Let's go. Her dad is dead and she doesn't even know. That's sad. Also, I could have used the boomerang back there on that enemy. I think it keeps it in place. The thing is, I have experience with this game, so it's not very necessary. But yeah, TSA, he was a good player, but ultimately, to stay ahead, he probably decided to splice, because like that kind of technology to cheat in video game speedrunning wasn't widely known, so you could get away with it. In fact, many of them did, and like TSA, for a whole decade, people did not know that those runs were spliced. Even though, looking back at the footage, it was kind of obvious. Like, there were clear sections where the music just cut off and played at a completely different tune. Like, people were just impressed that the runs were fast. They didn't care about the legitimacy of it. I guess I should continue with the topic. Also, I'll cover this area over here. With even older speedruns where the player clearly cheated, or it was found later that it was cheated, or they did not provide enough proof for it. Again, the runners probably just did it because it wasn't really well known. They were already popular. They could get away with it. It's only much later on that people started speedrunning on Twitch and other video game websites, even YouTube or whatever. And there was also the old SDA forums and yada yada yada. But those old runners that only had to provide a VHS tape once, and then from now on they only had to say, "Oh, I did this run. Here's me taking a picture of the timer at the end. I totally did not edit it or anything. Take my word for it." Okay, I have a VHS tape right now, but I'm not gonna play it live because why would I? Nowadays, when you want to do a speedrun, you have to record yourself live or do it live. One or the other. That ornamental shelf should open. Do you have a light? It's pitch dark inside and you can't see without one. Ready? Let's go. Let me push it to the left. Yeah, you don't have to collect the lamp if you want, I think. Oh, from the left. I do like the nice touch that she's showing as helping you, even though she's inside your character. Does she have a push animation? Push sprite? I don't think so, but it'd have been a really cool touch if she did. Because this would be literally, like, either this would literally be the only time, or there would be only one other time where we would see it. It's those kinds of little touches that elevate a game to great heights. But A Link to the Past is already really good, so it doesn't matter. I mean, they couldn't get Link's color, hair color right, so can't expect them to do everything. This is a relatively early Super Nintendo release. I don't believe it was available right away. 1992, something like that. Let me just look. Yeah, 1991 in Japan, 1992 in North America. With snakes. These were a Zelda 1 enemy though. They're a lot slower than before though. Wow, I'm doing terribly right now. Hearts drop much more often, so it's not too much trouble. I think the lamp would be a bit more effective than this. You. I imagine that back when this game originally released and people were hotly anticipating its release because it was back to the first game style instead of the janky second game style. And for once, the dungeons did not all look the same in terms of rooms. It's actually unique rooms every single time. And after passing through these sewers, we will be very close to the sanctuary. To sanctuary. Let's be careful. Yeah, it's not the sanctuary, it's just to sanctuary. Also, the mice don't like water for some reason. That is a lie, by the way. The rats really do enjoy just running the water. As long as it's shallow, I guess. I suppose it's supposed to be that the water is not shallow at all. Even though it is. I suppose I should start with a complaint for once. This light right here, this way of light, not very good. Kind of janky and outdated and annoying. I know a circle around Link would be like you want to see like the way Link sees, which is in front of him. Thing is, the way if you do this, it just looks awkward, and you're kind of cheating because then you can see way more than you normally would. So this is why I personally prefer to have one consistent light around the character. Or if it has to have something in front of him in terms of light, it should be like a bit more of a compromise between a consistent light and seeing a bit further ahead of yourself. Yeah, rat has the key. Weird, huh? Bombs? I don't have one. But yeah, bombable walls are extremely clear now. Most of the time. There are some cases where the cracks are a little less obvious. there are also some other times, I think only once to be honest, where the wall has no indications whatsoever. Or maybe I'm just thinking of parallel worlds. But yeah, the fact that the walls are always clear when you can bomb them helps a lot. Maybe makes the secrets less juicy when you find them, but no, that's not the case at all. The first game was kind of lame with the way it did the bomb walls. Especially the ones that you had to bomb to find the dungeon. It's not a satisfaction of finding a secret. That's just plot necessary. You have to find it. You have to bomb randomly to find the one wall that you have to open up. Sanctuary is just beyond that door. Pull the switch over there. Which one? She's not clear. She's being vague. Like that quiz I just took a while ago. I think this is the fake one. Oh no, it's the right one. I was usually get the wrong one when I play. Oh, but I guess if I no, you know what? Let's test it. Aha. She doesn't say anything if you go to the fake one. Also, I was moving down continuously right there. That's my controller drift. I really need to get a new controller. Thing is, they're so expensive. Gosh. Okay, so that's the other thing that I thought that we might push together, but no, it pushes away automatically. Or I guess you can infer that you pushed it with Zelda from the wrong end somehow. Princess Zelda, you are safe. Is this your doing, Hawke? What do you think, geezer? Yes, it was Hawke who helped me escape from the dungeon. When I was captive, the wizard said, "Once I have finished with you, the final one, the seal of the wise men will open." Hawke must not let the land of Hyrule fall into the wizard's clutches. If it releases the seal of the seven wise men, evil power will overwhelm this land. Before that happens, before it's too late, destroy the wizard before he destroys all of Hyrule. You can do it. You can. I sense that a mighty evil forces guides the wizard's actions and augments his magical power. The only weapon potent enough to defeat the wizard is the legendary Master Sword. Spoiler, by the way, guy. Already swore what was going to happen in the end. It is said that the village elder is a descendant of one of the seven wise men. Maybe he can tell you more. I will mark his house on your map. But watch your every move. I am certain that the castle soldiers will be looking for you now. I will hide Princess Zelda here. Do not worry. Seek the elder. Do you understand? No! Yeah, I'm not. No! I was just doing that to be funny. You just repeat what you just said before. I want that. Gosh darn it. Forcing me to move around. Meet the elder of the village and get the Master Sword. Hawke, be careful out there. I know you can save Hyrule. Yep. It's been 18 minutes or something. Guess I'll continue playing a bit more. We'll meet the village elder right now.